welcome back. Okay, right, thanks for all your support on this. It's amazing. The last video, just saying hello again and showing you this, absolutely incredible. Thank you so much. It went to 5,000 hits in 2 days, which is the fastest growing video we've ever had. So let's hope that what we do for you now launches this channel a bit further, and hopefully this kind of thing becomes worth it. Right, I'm going to show you what we're doing today. Penny's at work, so it's just me, you and the tripod. I've got to put some benches together. That little lot, I've had a little rearrange, so I'll show you what I've done there, and then in a minute I'll show you what I've bought there and what that's going to look like. Hopefully it'll all come together. So let's show you what I've done here. Hang on. Oh, look. Right, this, as you saw the other day, I had the 2 benches one side and everything just thrown in, but I've had a little play with it, and I want the steel stock in the middle, just because, you know me, OCD, I want that. That surely looks better than all the metal one side. Also, they were leaning a bit because the floor's not level, no floor's ever level, and I put a little number plate that side, kind of front and rear, to get that side of that up, so that's now plumb, more or less plumb with the wall all the way up, as it's ever likely to be, and that one was naturally flat and square, which is quite rare. So that one's, they're all sitting perfectly square now, which makes me feel good. All the metal's in, fire extinguishers in, everything's just thrown up there for now. However, as I said in the last video, I'm buying one more. I've already ordered it, be about Tuesday next week, and I'm going to cut it or splice it in half, because they come in halves like this and you clip them together. So I'm going to use one half on top of each one to give me 2 more shelves. The way this system works is you have these welded nips on here that fit into these keyholes and then slot downwards, and you share a shelf. That's how they clip together. You simply put one shelf between 2 uprights. That's the way they're designed to work, and they are pretty beef. So all I'll do is move this shelf up a click. That will give me a nubble there. I can put the uprights on, and then that will give me 2 more shelves and a spare one, and those 2 more shelves means I can get stuff all stowed away, out the way, stuff like that I've never touched for years that I just want to keep. That's just there out the way, and then things I need my hands on, bolts, fasteners, bottles, bits and pieces, I can just grab that as I need it. So they look cool, they are doing the job, and I'm just waiting for the last one, and I'll do that another time. Right, today though, this little space to take care of. Just pushed all this out the way for now. I've got a weld cart that was a kind gift from our Penny Pit Stop for Christmas, and that's going to mean the welder can then sit up on a proper weld cart, and I can kind of expand that a bit, get a proper gas bottle. These daft little stupid things are ridiculously expensive to run, little short bottles. I want to run a proper full 2-foot bottle which will stand on the cart, so do that a bit more properly, a bit more professionally, and that will just stand there in that space with the bench along. That will hopefully go under the bench, so will that, the drill press on the bench. So I'm going to just move them in a minute, because I'm going to need that space to put this lot together. What this is the stuff you get in sort of pub car parks, you know, pub gardens rather, the sort of super tough stuff, slow grown, pressure treated, all bolts together with coach bolts, and I got it from a company in, right, I'll give you some details. Actually, I took better than that. The guy was so cool, and oddly his name's Del as well, so I want to give him a little bit of love, and it's Wells Timber Products. What I'm going to do with that is make a link at the end so you can see it. These benches were absolutely mad money cheap. I looked at stuff like this, rubbish, same as I had in the last garage. You try and hacksaw on it, it just wiggles about and falls to pieces. Anything that you could weld up and make out of angle iron, great, but it's going to cost 4 times as much as these did, and I even ended up pricing up just the timber itself to make it all by myself, and it would have cost twice as much as they did. But before I do anything else, I'm going to rip all that off, I'm going to put them together and put them in the corner so you can actually see the quality for yourself. These, there's kind of legs and base in one parcel and the top in another. So they weigh together, when they're built up, they apparently weigh 80 kilos each. So a bit huffing and puffing, get them all unwrapped, get them built up, put them together, that out, them in, then tidy everything away. And once that's done, I'll show you what they look like, tell you a bit more about them, because these I was so impressed with. And the guy himself, the service, amazing. He sent these overnight, free. He made them, they were finished yesterday morning, and he put them in a courier truck, and they were here today from about 50 miles away. Incredible service, and I want to give him some love. So I'm going to put these together first and show you what they actually look like. But I haven't got time to do the whole film it for ages and so on, because Penny's not here. So I'm going to try something a little bit different and see if you enjoy it. Let's get stuck in.
How comes comes when I cut the grass, it always makes it grow? How comes I can only grow long hair from my nose? How comes I always cook far too much spaghetti? And why is no clever scientist ever interviewed a Yeti? How comes retail prices always end in 99? And how comes my computer doesn't work all the time? I don't know, I don't know, don't ask me mate, I don't know, I don't know.
Right, let's give you a look. Okay, now this isn't necessarily, let's come back a bit, this isn't necessarily where everything's going to go, I'm not really sure yet, but that's where we drew it to be. That's the idea that Penny had with the benches, and I have to say, it proper works. I mean, that as a workstation there just gives me so much scope, it really does. But let's tell you a bit about the benches quick. I want to do this, I think just not because or anything other than I want to. And if you can see the details there. Alright, Wells Timber Company.co.uk, Wells Timber Products, and there's their phone number. Give them a ring. Now the guy's name who runs this is Derek, oddly enough, same as mine, and when I spoke to him, it just instilled such confidence in me. These benches are absolutely awesome. I know that I say that about a lot of things, I know that sometimes I over-enthuse about things, but these benches are everything that I thought they would be. They really are. You've got 4x2 timber, slow grown, pressure treated timber, bolted together with 6-inch coach bolts, nuts and spanners. So all you actually need is one of them to put it together, one of them, and like a noggin of wood to beat against, just to line everything up. And quite simply, it comes in 4 pieces, the top, the base, and then the legs each end. So you just put them together. It is simplicity itself, but even if you can't manage that, there's a full set of instructions. They do even longer ones. They do ones that are so long you need a central leg. So they can make these any length. Now, the way the system works with him, with Wells products, they do any length you like, and they kind of cut off in 1 foot increments. So if you go on their website, you'll see they do outside commercial furniture, not just this stuff. If you can get the eBay listing for these, I'll try and find it again, and I'll try and show you it. They've got a Citroen Zara Picasso sitting on top of one of these, I kid you not. A proper forklift. They've got a forklift and put it up on top, because this guy was being asked all the time, how heavy, what weight will they take? Now, honestly, I kid you not, if you could put engines on that, you really could. Have a quick look underneath. You've got the 4x2 frame, 4x2 side on, cross braces underneath, everything's glued together, and they're screwed together. The actual timbers are screwed to the top with these. I found a couple of these in the packet, which are just screwing the noggins on, so I've got those to use. So if you consider that underneath there, you can see where they've screwed through this cross brace into the top. That's, where are we? That's the kind of, you know, penetration these screws are getting. They really have thought about it. They're proper tough, and I am really happy with my purchase. Now, they're anything. These come to just over 200 quid, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. You couldn't buy the wood for that. I haven't totaled it up yet, but there's all 4x2. The whole thing, apart from that little tiny bit along there, is made from 4x2 pressure treated timber. You couldn't buy this much timber for that money. You just couldn't. And not only that, you wouldn't make them to that standard, so I'd have a lesser product for more money. Not going to work, is it? So these are the right way to go. I'm not sure yet whether I put a steel top on there. I kind of like, I mean, these are lovely. The way they finish them, that is so soft. You can rub that hard as you like, and there isn't even a hint of a splinter or anything. They're very smooth. They've been soft sanded. They're really ready to use. You could even put that stuff in your garden as ornamental furniture. It's fantastic. And underneath there, it just stows away everything. The old bike lift, which I don't really use anymore, the parts washer now. Going to get that filled up, ready to use. That was a little present, penny pit stop, along with the weld trolley, which I've got to find somewhere in the store next door for that temporarily, because the welder goes under there quite nicely for now, and when I start using it for a project, the trolley will come into its own because I better move it around easier. Compressor goes neatly underneath as well, so everything's hidden under there. It's all plugged in, so I just literally hit the switch and then it fires up, plug in any air tools, and away I go. So it's nicely stowed away. It's not taking up space. These walls, incidentally, are Celcon blocks, which are very soft. It's a double cavity insulated wall anyway, so the people who live next door, they have no issue with that whatsoever. And I've run that, and I've asked them, and they said, what compressor? So that works. Sizes, right, I just want to show you this. Along the back here, if you'll look at this mortar line on the wall. That's practically perfect now. But when I put this together initially, it was kind of like that, which wasn't working. Because quite simply, as much as the mortar line's straight, I had to boost up that end with two little number plates, front and rear, that leg and that leg, just the same as I did on that, because the floor's not level. So yeah, what I could do is cut those legs right in that corner. I could take 6 mil or something off the bottom of those legs, and then the bench would be flat. But I'm not quite sure with this whole setup whether that bench will stay there at this moment in time. This is really setting it up and seeing how I get on with it. Quite simply because that bench is 63 inches long that way, and that gap is 64 inches wide. And that bench will go in there with that much to spare and stick out that much. So that will fit perfectly in there. And I don't want to go cutting one end of the legs down and then having to faff about later. So I'd rather prop up the uneven floor for now. And if I do decide that's where it's going to stay, I will cut the end of that table so that it completely stays straight. And then I'll be using some L brackets on the back of it to bolt the whole thing to the wall. So when you're hacksawing and whatnot, it doesn't wibbly wobbly. That's only there because I can't really work out where to put it, because I like the roll cap there, and that used to fit on the side. But that doesn't leave room for Penny's bike. So that stays there for now. It's a little bit of a space exercise. Putting that on there gives me a bit of space. I'm going to get a little shelf unit to go on there, a bit more storage, and tools there. Always wanted tools on the bench, which is really chuffed. I'm happy with that. So there we are. Now I'm really happy so far with how what we planned has turned out. Everything stows away neatly, and we've got, oddly enough, only those little bits of stuff there to go in there. So when that shelf, that extra one comes, I may do that, or I may put it up on top there, just like half of it, and I don't know. But at the moment, all this moves around, it all shuffles and hustles, and I can do all kinds of different things with it. And just giving you a look around, come to the other end, spin around, Harley goes there, Triumph goes there, and the Tiger goes in the middle. So at the moment, that gives us 3 storage spaces, plus if I want to put one on the bench, a project, a long-term project, like loads and loads of room. Right, the last thing is this. This is the last thing before I can call this done. I'm ready to embark on the first video, which is on these. And that's, here we go. This is not, I'm not endorsing, I mean, all this, showing you Wells Timber products and these, I'm doing this for you. I'm not doing it for these guys to benefit from. If you want to use their products, I use them, and I think that's sodding brilliant. And these mats, I looked at the bike mats. This is Rugg's Supermarket, just found them on eBay. Really, I don't know them, haven't spoke to them, I just ordered them without looking, and they've turned up. These are as an alternative to the bike mats, you know, the bike mats that you buy with a picture of your bike and Suzuki or Harley, whatever on. They were about £45 each for the nice bike mats. These were about 14 each. So I bought kind of half a dozen. So I'm going to unroll these, lay them all out around the floor, put them in the places they need to go, and see what the whole thing looks like, and listen to see if they, then a bit more, are the dreaded echo. Let's get stuck in. Right, there we are. Let's give you a look at what we're doing. Right, that's, I've got some red ones to go under there just because it's, I don't know, just a bit of bully in it. Go with that. And they're 2 foot 4 inches wide, these little mats. They're just rubber mats for your hallway, but they're super tough. They're waterproof, jet washable. The information says you can steam clean them, which of course is essential because I'm going to need to, especially this one. I put this one here, I put the Tiger on. When it comes in dripping road salt and filth, I'm going to put it right on here and give it to it. It's got proper filthy, and see how it fares when I wash it. And that'll be the best test of it. Still not sure whether, put 2 bits under there. I'm not sure whether that's right. It's great to work in that environment. Nice to be here, being able to work on that. That's great. That feels good. Also, the bench doesn't move around. The lift is nice and solid, but putting a lift on some sort of matting, I don't know. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I can soon put one of those back here, so we've got mats right across, and then just have one under the bench itself to hold it still. I don't know, but I just chucked them there for now because they feel cool. And obviously that one, that's a great little environment. Again, when I'm filing and drilling, you're going to get all sorts of bits of metal in there, and they'll stay in there, weave themselves into, I don't know, maybe that's just the wrong idea altogether, but it's there and it's cool, and they didn't cost much. I think the whole lot, I've got 6 in all. These 3 black ones are 9 foot. That's 7 foot, that's 9 foot, and a 5 foot one there. So work all that out. But all 6 of them came to £100, I think, just a smidge over 100, and you'd have paid that for 2 decent bike mats, maybe 3 at the most. So I'm quite happy with that, and they're fine. They'll do the job. The bike mats themselves look a bit garish with all their logos. I couldn't find plain ones for love nor money, but a few of you have given some great ideas using the horse mats. The rubber matting may go to that, but these are cheap enough not to worry about. I can put these elsewhere in our kingdom and they'll work. As regards to these things, you know, if you want to get yourself something like this, talk to the guy Derek at Wells Timber Company and see what he has to say. He'll make you whatever you want. He made that a specific size, both of these. He normally does them in 1 foot increments, like I said earlier. He made that 63 and this 56, and they were both individual odd sizes. You can make them whatever height you want. There's a standard height, which is this, and if you want them higher because you're taller, or you want them lower because you're, you know, in a situation you want them right low down, I don't know, whatever. But he can do whatever you like. Give him a shout, and they were literally 240 odd quid. Give them a shout. Your price will be slightly different because each pair are unique. So, or you can have just one, whatever. Give him a shout if you need something like that. And as far as the rugs are concerned, you saw the information. So that's giving you everything today. I think that's it. I'm going to call that done for now, ready to work, because the benches can still be moved around. Like I said earlier, that bench fits perfectly in there, and I can put that bench over that side and the lift in the middle. There's so much. I can just wiggle all this around and noodle it around until it's absolutely correct and it fits in and it looks just how I want it to look and it works ergonomically in the most efficient way. But for right now, that's great, because what I wanted was, as you can see, 3 bike spaces across here with no issues of having to put stuff out in the rain as we did before while we were working, and loads of room up there to work. That may or may not be enough room to work down there. I don't really know. That may be a bit narrow. It's about, what? It's about 14, 15 inches there, plus the bike's inboard. Should be able to get in there. Yeah, but if it's not, again, I can work around it. It's not a problem. All of it's movable. I'm not going to start trimming ends off benches until I'm sure, or bolting anything to the wall until I'm absolutely sure. I've got a really wicked sign coming. Somebody's offered to make us a fantastic lit sign, the Delboy's Garage logo. That's going up there, and the old original banner will go up here. So we're really going to make the place look fantastic. Got pictures, some signage to go up, some really cool things, and yes, I've got to deal with that door. That is a lone project all by itself. I'm going to soundproof the back of that door. At the moment, it is a tin sheet, so that's resonating. What little bit of echo is left in here is down to that door. It's nothing to do with this. This is working very, very well. So there we are, folks. Let's stick you back up here. There you go, spin you around. Oops, drunk again. Right. There we go. Look, I've got to say thanks ever so much for the most amazing support. This has been a long journey for me and Penny. It's been 6 months trying to chase this place down and get this all done, and probably, when you consider it, 5 years in the making, because that's how long we've been on YouTube. We wouldn't have done all this if we weren't on YouTube. I'd have just done it a different way, and the garage would have been completely different. It would have been white for a start, because then that's more light to work. The grey is about the camera, you know, said all that. So there's the point. We owe this to you, and I know that so many of you bounce that back, but really we would not do this if it wasn't for the support we get. So keep it coming. It really motivates us and makes us do it all the more, which is what we love the most. Right, so there we are. I'm going to shut up waffling now. I'm going to get indoors, get this edited. The next one is going to be that Harley going back on the bench. The nuts that I bored out to make spaces from, the guys at Tech have seen that, and they've stepped up and they've made some proper dedicated stainless spacers to come out with the shocks. When you buy a set of these shocks, you tell them you've got a Sportster, they will send you a proper fitting kit for it. And I've got one, and I'm going to fit it on, show you how it looks, and I'll explain why you need a specific fitting kit for them, and there will be no extra price. As far as I'm aware, they go out £129 for those shocks, like we said. So that's the next video. Get Harley back on the bench. It'll be a few days before I get time to do that. And once it is, you'll see where that goes. And after that, got some fun stuff on the Triumph, and then maybe I can get time to start a proper project, a proper build at last. Who knows? You never know. Right, there we are. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, ride safe. See you next time.